Hey everybody, another one for the singers. This one is going to be about breathing. Breathing is really important. It's the most important element of singing. If your breathing is wrong or inconsistent, your voice will be wrong and inconsistent. Alright? Now, breathing can, if you're doing it wrong, you can strain your voice, which is never a good thing. What you'll find then is obviously you haven't got any sort of stamina when you're singing, so it means you won't be able to sing for very long without your voice becoming tired. And if your voice gets tired, obviously you can't hit all your high notes that you want to hit. So I'll explain the principle of it to you. Imagine this is your voice. Now your voice or your larynx have two functions. All right. The second one is vocalizing. The first one is stopping you from choking. Alright, now when we're singing sometimes, those two things, those two functions that our larynx have can get a little bit confused. Alright, so your voice has to close like this in order to close your windpipe. Okay, now if you close it completely, then obviously no air can come out. Alright. If it's completely open, you just get breath. So vocalizing, singing, somewhere in between where the vocal folds are touching and they're making a vibrating sound. Alright. Now this is where the breathing bit becomes important. Now if you take a deep breath into this part of your chest, alright, like this, then what you've got is you've got air behind your voice. Okay, now that is, as you can hear in my voice, when I take a deep breath up here, that is no good for singing at all. Alright, because every time I start to speak or sing, then all the air is just kind of falling out of me at the rate of knots, and I've got no control over that air. Okay, now I'm going to stand up and I'm going to tilt the camera a little bit. Okay, so how we want this to be, I hope you can see this okay. Is our friend the diaphragm. I'm sure you've heard sing from the diaphragm. Your diaphragm is a muscle. Let me make a bit more space so you can see. Diaphragm is a muscle that goes right around here. Okay. Now that's where we want the breath to be. Now I'll show you what I mean. Because they're not here. If it's here, then sorry, those lights are probably dazzling for you, so you won't be able to see any better. I'm not sure it's any better. I'll put them that way. How about that? Maybe a bit dark. Okay, somewhere in between. Here we go. Right, so if it's up here in your chest and all of the air is behind your voice, when you start singing, you've got no control because the air just wants to leave your body. All right? And so what we want is we want a breath here. Now that's just below your solar plex, okay? A place called your solar plex, which is right here between where your rib cage and your tummy starts. All right? You want to breathe into this area like that. Okay, which means your tummy's got to come out. Some people are a bit uncomfortable with that. Okay, but you've got to let it hang out. Okay, so you're going to let the breath go in. Imagine it's going into that hand. Like that. What that means, so I can take a deep breath then into my hand, and my voice is free because it hasn't got all that unwanted air, okay, behind my voice. Okay, and it allows your voice, your throat, if you like, to take what air it needs in order to make that sound. All right, it's a really important part of singing. If you take in too much air, your throat will then close to try and stop the air from pouring out so that you can still sing. What that ends up with is a sore and dry voice, okay, which is no good. Now, first thing, there's no exercise. There will be a breathing exercise for you to do. But for the moment, I just want you to get used to that feeling. The feeling of air being here rather than here, okay? There rather than up here, which causes that strange sound, okay? So, simply, this exercise, shut my metronome off. The exercise is just to simply get used to breathing down there. Alright, do it sat down, because some people when they do breathing exercises they make themselves feel a bit lightheaded or like when you've been blowing up a big balloon or something like that. All right. So just remember, put your hand on your diaphragm and just imagine that air going into the hand. That's probably the best way to do it. Again, if you've got any questions about that, please send me an email, and we can also arrange a video lesson if you want. All right. Stay safe, everybody.